everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys been enjoying the content on the channel as of late, the 1st of 2024. And, yikes. Ay, God. Okay, so, I kind of gave away how I felt about it, but, um, so, um, I went to the mystery movie this week. If you guys saw my other, movie type video coming to the theater sort of thing, you guys would know the other film that I would have seen was Founders Day, but I decided to skip on that because it looked like a pile of trash. And from what I was told, it's basically a politically charged slasher, and I'm just not into that sort of thing. So, you know. So then I went into this one, and I had a suspicion that it'd be a horror film because they're promoting a lot of neon type pictures, a lot of movies, which I just saw a trailer for Longlegs today at the theater. Curious about that one. I've been hearing about that one with Nicolas Cage. I didn't see Nicolas Cage at all in the trailer, so um, but but the film that we ended up seeing was a film that I was actually curious to see, but you know. So the movie being Origin, which was written and directed by Ava DuVary, whose recent credits include Selma, most notably. I believe she also directed A Wrinkle in Time. I could be wrong about that. Um, she returns to the director's chair for Origin, which I have heard is a based on a novel, but also semi-biographical. Um, I forget the lead actress's name. My apologies, but it stars, her as well as John Berthnall for a short period of time. Um, uh, this woman, I just forgot her name. I'm so sorry. Um, she is going through some grief as her mother recently passes, as well as spoilers for the movie if you don't want the spoiler, is that she also loses her husband, played by John Berthnall, through circumstances that are pretty unclear. I'm not entirely sure how he dies. He just is dead on the floor. Um, I guess just for dramatic effect, but um, she is tasked with some journalism, we shall say. I mean, she apparently was a journalist in her past. Someone comes from her past to give her some documents from a murder that just took place, and specifically like some racist act from a white person that killed a black person, and she, with the coupling of the deaths of both her mother and her husband, she decides to embark on this expose, I guess, of how slavery and segregation and all this stuff. Basically, what you get to see basically is a victimization and exploitation of the black community, um, which they make a point to say the African American community, which is incorrect because a lot of the people that are, black people that you meet around they're not African American, they're black. And before you start hating me in the comments, to educate you, to be African American, you have to be born in Africa. If you were born in New York or anywhere in America, you are just an American. So, there you have it. So, with that out of the way, and just with other things that this movie is gonna I'm very frustrated because, on one level, the movie is completely self-indulgent because it rattles around the same hollow ass message the entire time about how black people are discriminated, how this and that and this is happening and that is happening, and how us collectively, us dark-skinned people, have been discriminated together. It's not like any other occurrences have happened with any other races. It's just us, you know. And America is the cause of all of it. America is the cause for why the Nazis ended up killing all the Jewish people and all this other shit. It's like this movie is making a very specific message, and attempting to represent it in the most melodramatic and most exaggerative way possible, like in terms of just content, in terms of just the overall pitch of what Origin is about and what it's trying to talk about. It's laughable. And for another, that's laughable is to an extent the performances, because they are just so hammy. They are just so full of it. Like John Berthnall especially, um like such a fucking kiss ass character, like the entire time. Like they show him as like the good one almost, you know? Um but just because personality wise, he's just a fucking kiss ass. Like he's just, you know, like he'll do whatever, you know. He's not, you know. So um and he gets all emotional and shit at one point too, like when the mother like asks him about like about a thing about white people, and he's like, well, yes, we're guilty. We're guilty, even though I personally have never done any racist shit. That's from the past. Stop living in the fucking past, live in the present. um like, I'm sorry for shit that I didn't do. I'm sorry for, you know, it's like just fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of like seeing these like political things, because like this is just a liberal drama. Like this is literally what it is. It's just a liberal drama, but in quality, like I'll give it this. Like aesthetically, it's pleasing, and the nature of it, like the overall subtleties that it's trying to be in tone. I mean, because subtlety, the subtlety is just in general with the visuals. I mean, it's like a fucking like like it's kids, like kid stuff. It's like teenagers. You know, it's like my first movie type deal. It's like this is not subtle. It's so blatant, you know, as to what they're addressing, um, and it's like this is over 2 hours, and I'm hearing the same thing over and over again. I understand. I understand. You've made your point. Just stop it. And eventually, it just became an act of self-indulgence, like especially in the writing. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, like this. She just like she might as well have just been masturbating. Like it's just like she's just wallowing in this fucking bullshit about this and that, about racism and this and that, and somehow trying to make a connection with this, her writings, with her family and her dilemmas and her trauma. Like, not sure how you connect all this together. And the movie, it fails at that. The movie fails at trying to connect any of those dots, except, you know, trying very hard with the violin to get you all emotional and to, you know, represent certain ideas, certain moments, you know, and trying to get the, you know, those like, you know, oh my God, you know. And I had a girl like that throughout the entire fucking movie, like, you know, just sitting there and getting emotional at certain moments where it's like the movie wants you to get emotional. It's like I I just found it very annoying. Like just the attitude, like the attitude is tolerable enough because I like this mundane like nature it possesses. Aesthetically, it's fine. But in terms of its writing, in terms of its performances, in terms of just its overall atmosphere, it is so fucking melodramatic. It is so hammy. And it thinks that it's speaking big by speaking in circles around the same goddamn idea, which is basically a very ignorant statement on the world today, which is that everybody's fucking racist except minorities. Like that's what they're basically saying. If you're a minority group, then you're not racist at all. You're not ever making an accusation about white people today. You're not saying this and that. You're just racist. Sorry, everybody's racist. America's racist. Fuck all y'all. Like that's basically what the movie's saying, you know? Uh like it's like, you know, and it's laughable, like just by its writing, you know. Like I just could never take the drama seriously, like because it's just so full of itself, and it's so full of itself in terms of its like of its of its purpose and how it positions itself. It's so much more about its political statements than about real emotion, real resonance. Which is for me where that stuff is when the humane component is present, when things start to happen to her in her personal life and stuff like that. And that's about maybe 20 minutes, and this is about almost a 2.5 hour film. The rest of it is just this fucking exploitation, and fucking victimization of the black community or people of dark skin. Like, it's just like, give me a fucking break. Like, come on. Like, I know racism exists. I'm not trying to like say it doesn't, but I'm just getting so tired of people bringing up this like the same fucking like the same fucking shit all the fucking time. And like the Jesus Christ, the likelihood of like racism exists. Like, don't get me wrong, racism absolutely does exist. I'm not trying to say that racism doesn't exist, but to even suggest that we're close back to the time of of what was back then, with like rape and slavery and all that sort of stuff. That stuff does still occur today, obviously, but we're not near that time anymore. We're not near that time anymore. Okay? Especially politically speaking. I mean, America is a for the most part a liberal foundation. So believe me, that shit is never coming back. Um so it's like it's just so full of itself as a drama. I guess if you're a liberal, I guess you might think this is like profound and so timely and so thought provoking and so detailed and so rich in emotion, so rich in depth, even though it's just saying the same thing, literally the same fucking thing for 2 hours. Like, I might as well have just seen someone masturbate. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just like the same. It basically was the same feeling. It's just like, okay, you know, what else are you doing? Like, like, what else are you gonna talk about? Are you just gonna sit there and just say the same thing over and over again? Okay, because now I'm just annoyed, and I could just give zero fucks. And I was just like literally moving like this the entire time, like moving with my head. I fell asleep at some moments, like I just, like, as you could tell, I'm just really annoyed. I just was like good lord, drown me in a fucking river or something, like whatever. Like, okay. Like, it is victimizing, it is exploitive, it is melodramatic, hammy. It's all the traits that it shouldn't be. The only trait that it possesses to some measure is subtlety. And that subtle nature is there in spurts. When it's there, I find myself in a fair spot, a tolerable spot. There are points where it does feel like it's gonna get tender, like it's gonna get more interesting. But then it just comes back to the same political nonsense, and then I'm completely thrown out. And I just could not care. I just found myself just either laughing to myself or just fucking annoyed, you know? Like did you know that did you know that America sucks? 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 Now, let me add another point to that. Did you know that America's racist? Did you know that America's racist? Did you know America's racist? Do you know that America's racist? Do you know that America's racist? Do you know that America's racist? And then let me add another point to that. Do you know that America is responsible for everything? Do you know that America is responsible for everything? Do you know that America is responsible for everything? Do you know that America is responsible for everything? If you find what I just did very insightful, then you might find this movie to be very meaningful. Otherwise, if you actually have a brain, you will think that I would just annoy the hell out of you. Which I will say, I am sorry. And at no point did the movie really make an apology. It just decided to commit to that attitude, and it just frustrated me to no end. So, the best way I can describe it is this: it's a liberal drama that belongs on VOD. That's the way I'll put it. It's something that you just find on streaming, maybe on Netflix even, you know? And you just move on. So yeah, like, sorry to be pretty cynical about this one. Probably a divisive response for this video, I don't know, but just so but yeah. So those are my thoughts on Origin. I found it to be super frustrating, very annoying. I understand, like, the messages, like, it says it like 50 times over, like, I get it. Like, it does still exist today, obviously. No one's saying that. It's just like, guys, can we just, like, fucking just, I don't know, maybe not be so caught up in the past, not be so caught up in this and that. Like, can we just focus on the now? You know? Like, can we stop bringing up shit like this? Because what does this mean for us? You know? Like, I get annoyed. I just get annoyed so much when I have to hear shit like this all the time. It's just like, what does this have to do with you today? Nothing. This is just you in your own fucking echo chamber, just looking like it's just self-indulgence. That's purely what it is. This is purely self-indulgence. I'm speaking on a political view, like, just like this whole argument that gets brought up. This is all self-indulgence. This is all someone just connecting things because it seems like, you know, like, wow, isn't that something, you know, versus actually sitting back and going like, well, let's not well, that happened then, but let's think about realistically how today is. And today is a lot better than what was back then. It's not perfect, of course it's not, but it is way better than what back then was. And to even compare the two, you're an idiot. So, yeah. So there is still stuff that occurs today, like slavery and stuff like that, but to even suggest that it's even remotely to the same heights as it was back then, stop it. Just stop it, okay? So yeah, that's just my view. I mean, downvote the video if you want to. I mean, that's just my view. So, but you guys let me know your thoughts on Origin. As a film, as I said, just annoying as fuck. I just could not get into it. But you guys know your thoughts about the film in the comment section below. Any thoughts on the director? I just remembering that she actually directed Selma, I was like, okay, well, now this makes perfect sense, you know, because she just seems highly self-indulgent, at least just based on this movie. I don't know if Selma shares any of those same sensibilities, but man, like, fucking hell, you know. So let me know your thoughts on Origin if you guys plan on seeing it. I believe it's out in limited theaters right now, but it comes out worldwide later this month. So let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.